The ocean, vast and uncharted, holds secrets beyond human comprehension. Beneath its surface lies a world untouched by time, a world where ancient civilizations once thrived and fell into oblivion. Our story begins with a team of deep-sea explorers, lured by rumors of an ancient submerged city off the coast of a remote island, a city lost to history but not forgotten. As the submersibles descended into the dark abyss, the team could barely contain their excitement. Dr. Evelyn Carter, a renowned archaeologist, had spent years searching for evidence of the lost city, known only in fragmented myths. Beside her, Captain Mason, a seasoned deep-sea diver, piloted the vessel with steady hands, while tech specialist Alex monitored the sensors, searching for any signs of the city below. And then it appeared, an enormous structure rising from the ocean floor, its towers and spires stretching into the inky blackness. The city was real, and it was vast, far larger than any of them had imagined. As the submersibles hovered above the ancient ruins, they were struck by the eerie beauty of it all. Coral and seaweed draped over stone carvings, statues of long-forgotten gods staring out into the endless void. They docked the submersibles near what appeared to be the entrance of a massive temple, its doors ajar as if waiting for them. With a mix of awe and trepidation, they donned their diving gear and stepped out into the cold, dark water. The city loomed around them, silent and imposing, but it was not empty. As they swam deeper into the city, they began to hear it. Voices, faint at first, just whispers on the edge of hearing. They echoed throughout the water, carried on unseen currents, calling out names, their names. Evelyn, Mason, Alex. Dr. Carter paused, her heart skipping a beat. The voices seemed to come from all around them, yet there was no one else in sight. The team exchanged uneasy glances, but pressed on, drawn by the mystery of the city. They entered the temple, its walls lined with strange symbols and ancient carvings. The deeper they ventured, the clearer the voices became, until they were no longer whispers, but coherent words. Pleas, warnings, cries for helps. The walls themselves seemed to pulse with life, the carvings shifting and twisting as if the stone was alive. Turn back. Leave this place. But it was too late. The doors of the temple slammed shut behind them, trapping them in the darkness. Panic set in as the lights on their suits flickered and failed, leaving them in pitch blackness, surrounded by the voices. And then the truth became clear. The city was not a ruin, but a living entity, a predator that lured explorers with promises of discovery, only to consume them. The voices were of the souls of those who had come before, absorbed into the walls, their life force drained to sustain the city's insatiable hunger. Please, help us. Dr. Carter felt the walls closing in on her, the stone-cold and unforgiving walls. The voices screamed in her ears, and she realized with horror that they weren't just calling out. They were trying to take her, to pull her into the stone, to make her one of them. Captain Mason and Alex were already succumbing, their bodies sinking into the walls, their screams of terrors lost in the chaos. The city fed on their fear, their despair, growing stronger with each passing moment. Join us. Dr. Carter struggled to break free, but the city's grip was too strong. The walls pulsed with malevolent energy, and she felt her strength fading, her life force slipping away. The last thing she saw before the darkness claimed her was the image of herself reflected in the stone, a distorted, twisted version of who she once was, now part of the city, forever trapped in the abyss. The city's hunger was far from sated. As the last breath of life left her, Dr. Carter felt a shift, a new awareness emerging of consciousness with the ancient entity. And then, as if responding to her thoughts, the city began to change. The walls retracted, corridors realigned, forming a new passage, new traps, all in preparation for the next set of explorers who would inevitably be drawn to the mystery of the submerged city. The voices of the lost souls, now including Dr. Carter's, began their internal chant, a siren song that would call out to those above. The city lived, and it would always hunger. And so, deep beneath the ocean's surface, it waits, patient and silent, its echoing whispers reaching out into the curious, to the brave, luring them into a trap from which there is no escape.